DrunkFX, like and subscribe. We're going to go over the Angry Birds movie review. Now, from what I've heard and seen is a lot of people are giving it kind of a thumbs down approach. I personally thought the movie was pretty good. I mean, you have to put in consideration that it's based off of a phone app game that really is pretty basic. It brings back the old game where you had the cannons or like worms where you had to guess the velocity to take out the enemy, right? But it was a single player game. So with that being said, this is the spoiler review one. I'm going to make a non-spoiler one. If you don't want to watch this one, definitely go to the other one. So I'm going to start off with the spoiler review here. Basically, it shows the origins as to why the Angry Birds are angry. And I pretty much don't see why we wouldn't know that. If you at least played the first one, even if you played the first 5 minutes of it, you would know why. It's because the fucking pigs are stealing the eggs, right? So basically, it at least gives more of about an hour building up to that, though, which is kind of cool. I like the origin type of approach to any movie that you make, especially when you know that there's going to be sequels, as what's hinted towards the end of the movie. So the pigs come to the island, right? And only 2 of them were there, and they said, oh, there's just 2 of us, and they were very friendly, showing them technology, this and that. Little behold, more pigs just kind of keep showing up, right? So eventually, everybody there, as the birds are letting their guards down, but we got Red, the main character, which we all know on the Angry Birds, is questioning these pigs. He's like, well, what the heck? Why are they here? What do they want? He kind of had a hunch. No one listened to him. It's one of those movies, the nobody listens to me type of movie until shit's too late, right? Because then the pigs start jacking the eggs, especially in the final moment of they throw this huge party and kind of put all the birds in this big old techno dubstep that keeps them distracted, so they just take off with all the eggs, right? Birds are obviously pissed, right? So what happened is now it's go time. They all finally look at the red bird and say, you know what? We didn't listen to you. Now what do we do? So they fight back. They go to Piggy Island and they use some of the technology, like I kind of mentioned before, that these pigs brought, and which is the slingshot. So then you actually get to see kind of like the video game, but live action. And every color bird that's flying is using their powers and stuff. For those that actually played the game, like, what was that, 7 years ago now? Definitely a little behind on its time to release the movie, but I thought it was excellent that they did regardless. I have no regret seeing the movie. I don't care if Rotten Tomatoes gives it, I don't know what they even rate. I don't give a shit about Rotten Tomatoes. To me, Rotten Tomatoes is a bunch of people with their arms crossed at the front stage of a metal concert saying, that's not the right note. Man, fuck those people. Those people obviously don't even have a brain to acknowledge movies. They really just kind of go with whatever that their undeveloped frontal lobe decides to give them at a moment's notice, and they own a website. So that's really what it is. It's one's opinion, okay? It was true to the game, period. You can't say it wasn't. It showed the origin of what it was about. It even gave us some of the game action towards the end of the movie because they were launching on the slingshot with all of them showing their powers. But it also made you feel like you were part of the movie by showing you the individuals, the characters, the build-up, and what the first Angry Birds game was about. So to me, I have no complaints there. However, this isn't even a complaint. I just want to bring up a conspiracy. I'm sure it's going to be a controversy thing where these pigs represented Americans. They did. They showed up kind of like to like the Native Americans, like, oh, we have technology, we have fire, we have this, we have country music. They were playing a lot of country music for these pigs, wearing the hats. They even kind of acted lazy, which would represent kind of like Americans. And to me, I almost felt like that's really where they went with this. I don't know if this movie was made in America or, maybe it was like a Canadian. I don't know where the Angry Birds really came from. Someone can put that in the comments below. That's cool with me. So when all that shit went down, it was just it was a cute movie. That's it. And they had a lot of old school music, minus that country twang stuff. Someone can correct me with the auto of what origin or time frame that country music was, but that was definitely American, probably newer. It didn't seem like old school country, but kind of a newer. But the other music in that movie was totally like African old school music. So the adults, especially that kind of grew up around that era, could, when they hear it, they're like, oh, okay, I know this song. And they remade 1 or 2 of them, and I'm not going to touch base too much on what songs they were, but I just wanted to point that out to the crowd, people listening, stuff like that. So that kind of really wraps up my spoiler review of it. They basically get their eggs jacked. No one listened to the Redbird. He was pissed off the whole time. He had to go to anger management, right? And then eventually, once they realize their shit gets jacked, they listen to the Redbird. They go attack them. They have to rescue the eggs and everything. And the pig's kingdom, Piggy Island, gets destroyed. In the credits, though, the pigs are building it back up, saying they're plotting revenge. So that would kind of go with the video game as well. So to me, it stayed true to the games. It stayed true to everything. And it brought us as viewers to feel on an emotional level how it felt to have your children kidnapped and have to go rescue them or whatever the hell they were kind of, they really pulled the emotion, I think, out of the situation that they were given. After all, it's a phone app game where you just pull a little bird and let them go flying. I mean, how do you take something like that and make it big screen? I feel they pulled it off. I give it a good rating. I'm going to say like an 8 out of 10. So if you don't like that, that's fine. You guys, like and subscribe and follow us on Twitter at DrunkFX. This is Nidge, and I'm out.